Please do not adjust your receivers. So I am now setting my torpedoes to run very shallow, and I'm choosing the contact influence fuse because escorts are pretty shallow, and you also want a glazing hit to detonate. And I'm rising the submarine a little bit so I can see a bit better over the waves. While we're at it, I'm gonna move the tech watch through to damage control team where they can be of use while we're submerged. This is why we don't need extra seamen on the boat, by the way. You can always move them around. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna acquire the guy visually without identifying him or inputting his must height, but I'm just gonna range him at 4000 and just fire in his general direction. That's a 2 degree to the left, 2 degree to the right, and 1 in the center just in case he ignores both of them. And then I'm going to perhaps wastefully fire another 1 in the center on the off chance that he's gonna reverse his turn just in the right moment. And now I'm looking at what seems to be, judging by the size, a capital type ship.
Torpedo in the water. Rudder, 3, 8 degrees to port. Yes, sir. 3, 8 degrees to port.
And I'm turning into him just as I descend, in hope that this will give me a good aspect angle, and perhaps he will not acquire me on his sonar immediately.
Yes, sir. New course, 1, 7. Yes, sir. New course, 1, 7.
Then I guess I change my mind and do something else, thinking he's gonna see me out anyway. As you can see, the bulkhead is getting repaired, and the main pump is not damaged, so the flooding will be under control shortly. We're at periscope depth still, because I want to see what happens. Now that exploded pretty close to his rudder and propulsion, and he's apparently on fire, but these were torpedoes number 1, 2 and 3. We're still waiting for number 4. That's number 4 behind him. The one that actually hit him was the first one, and you can see him turning back into me, so apparently that Mark 10 torpedo didn't do squat. It should have damaged his rudder because it exploded right beside it. It should have blocked his rudder, but it didn't. Either bad luck or the puny warhead didn't do the job. And I'm still hoping he's gonna sink, but
Torpedo missed, sir.
apparently I did not make an impression because he's gonna continue hunting me down. He's not even gonna leave it to his friends.
Torpedo missed, sir.
and he can hear my engine running on full throttle, so he's headed straight for me right now. I'm moving away from him, and I have 28% damage of the hull, the structure integrity damage, and the bulkhead. I don't know if you noticed, but the bulkhead got fixed. So I'm gonna risk it, and I'm going to dive. And I wonder, should I set my speed lower, because if you set it low, you can go into silent running, but it makes no sense if he can see you.
Yes, sir. Ahead 1/3.
And I want to at least cross the thermal layer before I slow down.
Current depth 3-0.
But I went into 1/3 ahead already, so maybe a bit early.
Current depth 4.
It's the kind of things you don't pay attention to when you're playing, actually. But I have a good aspect angle on him, and he's almost straight behind me. Now, if he has my broadside, he can ping me and get my position immediately. No matter what depth I'm at, as long as I'm within range.
Thermal layer.
And I'm gonna level out just below the thermal layer, which isn't really efficient at hiding me, but I dare not go lower with my damaged submarine. And I'm going to slow down to 1 knot, because this will bring my RPMs below 100, and this is pretty much the limit of what he can hear on the hydrophone.
09, long range.
So about now he can only use active means efficiently.
Yes, sir.
And it seems like a friend of his is joining in. These lines are, by the way, sonar contacts. And I don't know how to close this thing. Some sort of range table. Now, my sonar guy is crap, and here's the proof. This is my own engine, and over the nose of my own engine I can hear quite clearly this guy's chasing me on the left rear side of me, but it's not marked on the map, so there's actually a disadvantage to seeing what's going on the map. That's a ping. And sporadic ping doesn't mean anything as far as I know, but if you hear a quick succession of pings, it means the guy is going straight at you, and he's gonna be dropping bombs soon. Now, just before he drops, you're gonna hear silence because you're under his cone of sonar.
Yes, sir. New course.
Range,
1,
I guess.
3, 5. Yes, sir. New course. 1, 3, 5. Bearing 2, 3, 2. Short range.
And we're turning port side,
Yes, sir.
which is left.
Rudder 1, 4 degrees to port. Yes, sir. 1, 4 degrees to port.
In order to give ourselves a better aspect angle again, because he just those pings didn't help him. He lost my position. He or them. Now, if there is just one of them, then he can only ping or listen at one time. But if there's a pair of them, one of them will always listen, even if the other one is pinging, and so you have to be careful with using the engine. They can only ping in a 90-degree angle up to the front, and only at
Yes, sir. Rudder, 0.
oh,
Yes, sir. 0.
and if you hear them pinging like that, it means they see you. So there is no use hiding. You gotta evade.
Head like. Rudder, 1, 3 degrees to port. 1, 3 degrees to port.
Now you gotta look at which way he's coming from.
Yes, sir. Rudder, 0.
And you gotta remember, just before dropping the bomb, he's gonna lose contact, because you're gonna be underneath him and he cannot ping down. He can only ping downwards at about, I don't know, 20, 30 down, 30 angle. And this was close, but not nearly close enough.
Speed 1.
And I don't hear no pinging, so they're probably listening. And I'm going to go down to below 100 RPM again, hoping that they're gonna lose the lock, that they're gonna lose the track of my position.
Yes, sir. Deploying decoys. Deploying decoys.
And it comes down to whether or not they're gonna be at the right angle when they come around. But right now they just decide to drop the depth charges blindly. And I think I almost gave them my broadside, but perhaps they are too close to ping me. Or perhaps they are pinging in another direction. So I finally conclude, maybe I should just point my boat away from them, and this makes you lose track of them, but if you don't hear the pinging, it probably means they don't see you. And I'm going to head for where their convoy is right now, because the convoy is our task force, because I think I saw one cruiser class among them, is going to head south, and those guys are gonna have to rejoin it or leave it without part of its escort. And if they cannot find me, they're gonna just head straight back. And I don't wanna be on their way as they pass me by. I wanna be facing away from them or towards them, so they don't spot me as they go past. Now you don't want to put yourself in parallel with their course, because then if they pass you by, they gonna see your broadside from close range, and they're gonna see you. And they cannot shoot their they cannot use their active sonar backwards or aim it to the side. They can only do it in 90-degree angle.
Contact. Warship.
Towards the
Moving away.
front. So
Bearing.
once they pass you by, you're safe. And we've lost all contact with them.